Welcome to the Launch Capsule. With your host, James DuBos. Buckle up because your launch capsule begins now.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey there, this is Jim DuBos, and welcome to this episode of the Launch Capsule. So today we're focusing on, I'll call it net worth versus net cash. And so this episode is really around what happens after the wire hits your bank account. Congratulations, you sold your company. You received a financial reward for building an asset of value. But now, what do you do, right? What is that? And so many times when I'm talking to entrepreneurs, the very first thing I talk about is why are you wanting to exit your business? You know, and the reasons vary. They're all over the board. Only you can answer that question. And the second part of that is, what is the financial outcome that you're looking for that you will feel like you are rewarded appropriately for the business that you built? You know, you can't use a generic answer. I just want as much as I can get. Well, that's not really an answer, because as much as you get might not equal enough. And so some of the things to think about in that net worth doesn't necessarily mean liquidity. That's the first thing I would say. And so many times people will receive net cash. They'll put it into physical assets. Maybe they'll be income producing. Maybe they won't. Maybe they just appreciate in value, but they don't drive any actual cash over a period of months or through the year. And so the question becomes, well, how are you going to pay yourself post the transaction? Contemplating things like, what's my monthly burn rate? You know, you had a lifestyle probably built upon the income that you were receiving from the business you were operating over the course of years. Well, is your lifestyle the same? And then what is the source of that liquid need going to be? And so it's really important that as you're going through this process, you're also contemplating your personal needs and the drivers associated with how is this going to result in me being able to live at whatever lifestyle you've set and planned for in the future. And so it's things like, do you have a passive income plan, as an example? How is that going to be executed? Obviously, when we're talking about a multi-million-dollar exit, you should be talking to a financial advisor that you trust. And everyone's dispositions are different in terms of how they want to distribute the proceeds from their transactions. But it's critical that you have someone who can help you think and consider and be honest with the way your lifestyle aligns with the actual cash available and how that cash is then managed and put into both fixed assets, liquid assets, and so forth. So I guess the real comment I would make here is, don't consider that your business transaction exit is going to equal unlimited freedom. The vast majority of high 7-figure and 8-figure transactions do not result in a net cash that gives you unlimited freedom. Okay, you're going to have constraints. And so understanding those constraints based upon the lifestyle that you want to go execute against is very critical, because otherwise you'll get yourself into this situation where you're burning off your liquid capital and now you're in a stress-filled situation. Ultimately, the goal here is you need your capital to last for some duration of time. And that's really what you're doing. And you're saying, okay, do my lifestyle needs and my cash needs match the investment strategy that you've set forth from the proceeds that you've received from the transaction? And so this is part of the journey, is contemplating, what do I do post-transaction? How am I going to pay myself? What's that monthly burn going to be? Do you have an income plan, a passive income plan? What are those strategies? And so I hope this was helpful to you. I'll give you guys some individual pieces of, I'll say, the journey that I've personally been on to make you contemplate and make you consider as you go through this process. So have an awesome day, and we'll continue this journey together.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Launch Capsule. With your host and mentor to success, James DuBos. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share.